Alright, 2v2 tier list time. What did it look like before? Let me pull up my old video. Alright. So this is what it looked like before. This is what it looked like before. So let me recreate this. Batman, Taz, Garnet, Superman, Jake, Shaggy, Giant, Harley, Doge, Steven, Arya, Tom, Finn, Velma, Wonder Woman, and Bugs. There we go. Alright. So this is what we had last time. This is what we had last time. Bugging time reverse. Well, this wasn't ordered too much. So I've big thought about this, and I kind of made some makeshift tier list stuff throughout the week. Since the release, it has been approximately 8 to 9 days. So this is 8 to 9 days since my initial day one impressions. This was B, this was A, this is A+, and these 5 were S. So I think the easiest thing that I think is existing is I think there is a new tier. I think there is a new tier where let's move everyone down. And there's an S+ tier. And to me, this S+ tier currently has 2 characters, which I think are Velma and Bugs. To me, Velma and Bugs are definitely the best characters right now. I make the colors like that. You want me to change the colors? But I think Velma and Bugs definitely the best. You know what? I'm on Splat side. We'll just move everyone else. Velma as a support, she does so much. The laser is just so strong overall. The fact that she can talk to everybody is just a really big deal. She's always active in a fight. She has really big combos. Is it something like this? So Velma's she's just always good. She has good kill power. She has good support for her teammate. The cooldown reduction buff is insane. The laser's really good. The jab combo's really good. Cop car is pretty whatever. But overall, she has good normals. She has fantastic support. She has really good weight, so she lives for a really long time. I think she just provides the most to a team. And then Bugs on his own, he has really good buttons. He can chase really hard. He's not like as heavy, but he's still pretty heavy. And as I'm sure you know, with the Acme hole, you can have Rocket and Safe just be incredibly strong, right? So with that being said, I think this is an S tier. In this S tier, I do not think Finn is here. And low key, I don't think Wonder Woman is here. I think the S tier to me currently is Tom, Steven, and Superman. I think Steven is arguably one of the best characters. He's currently bugged, but I think the ability to shield your teammate from anywhere and create terrain is just insane. I think it's a very good tool to have. He has really good base knockbacks. The only con is he's really stubby. I don't think being stubby is too big of a deal in this game, but it can be. So we're gonna have to see. Superman, amazing survivability. Laser's really good. If you get hit once, you might die, and that happens like the whole time. That happens the whole time that you're playing. And Tom and Jerry, I don't need to explain much. Tom and Jerry have phenomenal projectile control. Jerry Slingshot, again, I think is one of the best moves in the entire game. Tom also, I think he has one of the better disadvantages in the entire game. I don't think it's as good as Bugs with Rocket or like Steven, because they can create terrain and kind of like walking on it, which is really good. But I think he can stall for a really long time. He has amazing reversal potential. He has amazing potential on stage, off stage. And, you know, tennis balls are a really big deal when it comes to twos. You're not always going to be paying attention to the tennis ball. And sometimes they put you in a spot you don't want to be in that his teammate can cover incredibly, incredibly well. People asking me to order this. I don't think I will. One, it's a lot of mental work for like negligible differences. I think all you need to know is there's a gap here, there's a gap here. Within the tier, they're all like around this strength. I think that's more important than, oh, maybe Steven is like 0.1 strength stronger than Tom, you know. Now before I go like a little further, one thing, this is going to be A+, and this is going to be A. I'm going to move LeBron to a tier. And I actually think LeBron might be over here. He is on the lower half of the cast, however, I don't think this is a big problem. I want to see more of him because how strong his moves are, like as a chaser, I think is incredibly, incredibly strong. But his neutral isn't that good. So I can see LeBron working really well in certain team comps, like pretty dang well. But on his own, like let's say it's LeBron and I don't know, like another potential low tier, I don't think it's that good. Now onto the A+ tier. I think this is around where Wonder Woman and Finn lie. I think they're really good. I think they're actually really good. I think Wonder Woman could be a lot better. But I think like a lot of good characters just have ways to fight armor at this point. I think her chasing abilities is not as strong as a lot of other characters. Her disadvantage is pretty good. Whoops. But as time goes on, I'm not too big of a Wonder Woman believer. As I just think some of these characters, they blow people up. They have survivability. They have really good neutral, you know. And then Finn's situation is a little strange. Because I feel like Superman can do his job better while surviving a lot harder, especially in a twos environment. It's hard for Finn to get started in twos, and I feel like that's always been his problem. So I figure he's a lot better in ones than twos still, and I don't think there's like too much wrong with that. Because again, the character strength in this game is really high. I think any character, actually, I think any character can make it work. Like 100%. 100%. So I would put Finn here. He still has really good hitboxes, really good combo potential. If you're off stage against Finn, your life just isn't that great. You're probably going to die. Super feels bad, but getting things started with Finn can be a little tough. Harley, I think Harley belongs here. She doesn't feel like she creates as much chaos as she used to. It might be a factor of these three characters still being really good. And I think it's just hard for Harley to get in versus those three. So, it'd be how it'd be. I still think Harley is great at chasing, really good when things work out for her, but she is really light. And with her being really light comes a strong like lack of survivability. So, you know. And then Rain Dog, I might move Rain Dog up, because I feel like Rain Dog is really good. He's just not popular. So I'd have to think about that. And I think a big thing with, like, I guess let's call them the three zoners, Rain Dog, Tom, and Velma. I think Velma is just so good in comparison that it kind of would make Rain Dog be a little less popular. Not only like he's also an original character, so he doesn't have type of legacy. So I could see Raindog being a little stronger, but I think I'll put him here in terms of I just haven't seen a lot of them. Maybe at like the higher levels, Raindog could be really, really good, but I can imagine it can be hard to work with Raindog at some of the lower levels. And Arya. Arya, I feel like she's the best opportunist, right? I know Leviathan and Signing one, but I feel like Arya is the best opportunist, but she doesn't have great hitboxes, and she's incredibly light. Pichu vibes, 100%. I don't know how much better she can get, because I think she'll always have really strong pros and really strong cons. And the newer addition to this tier, actually, I think Batman. I think Batman is crazy. Not as much. I don't think he's super cracked in 2s. But I do think Batman is a strong 2s contender. You guys will soon see that I think this A+ tier is pretty populated. I don't need to tell you guys about Batman. He has amazing normals. He can chase really hard. Batarangs really good. It doesn't control as much space as you would want it to in 1s. But it looks like the life of Batman is going higher in 2s. Kind of similar to like how it went in 1s. But even with that... Oh man, I'm starting to realize how strong I think a lot of characters are. I think Shaggy is also in A+. Shaggy, when he charges up Rage, giving him and his teammate Enraged for Weaken is a very big deal. Shaggy also has super good confirms. Really good normals, really good dodge attackers. Side special, while scrubby, is still like really solid. The projectile, it does exist. It's not like that big of a deal, but I think Shaggy's attacks, he's a really good character. He's a really good character. And he has the weight to back it up, so it's really hard to kill him. It's kind of like Joker in Smash, where he has the comeback mechanic at 100, and he's probably gonna live to 100. So we'll see what the future of Shaggy has. And honestly, I have to do this because there's just so many Iron Giants on the leaderboard. Iron Giant. This character is the cheesiest character I've ever seen. No, okay, you guys haven't seen one of the pre-patch Aryas. Pre-patch Arya was not okay. But Iron Giant comes close. So Iron Giant, really hard to kill, has super armor out of the move, gigantic hitboxes. He's a super solid character. I don't want to admit it, but I will. Mainly because I don't feel like I have a choice. I don't think Iron Giant is better than A+. This is where my own bias will come into play. I think in the ladder he might be, but I think overall he isn't. So to me, Iron Giant at tops, I think he'd cap here. Then let's think. Personally, I think LeBron's solid, but I have to see more of LeBron. Which I personally want to play more of LeBron, so hopefully I get to lab him a little more today. And I'll get to re-up post-Evo on how I feel about the character. And Taz does not belong in this tier. I think Taz is also an A-level character. Because Taz and LeBron, they kind of do the same things, where they don't have great neutral, but if they get a hit at the right spot, they can kill you. Like, super duper easily. Categories? Nah. I feel like this is pretty much how it is. You can think of this as A, B, C, D, but it's the same gist. I think if everybody is like, if this is power level of 8 and this is power level of 10, I think it's A to S. I think the difference between this and this isn't like drastic. Same thing with the difference between this and this. I don't think it's drastic. You know, the power level differences are not that high. Now Jake, I think Jake still kind of belongs in this tier. I don't think Jake fulfills any specific niche for a team. Neutral is kind of lacking. Advantage is kind of lacking. Disadvantage is pretty good, but you don't gain much off of living, you know? I feel like Jake needs a little more. And I also feel the same thing with Garnet. I feel like Garnet is still stuck in like a kind of jack of all tradesy situation, where neutral's kind of okay, disadvantage is kind of okay, advantage is kind of okay. I don't think there's like too much, you know. I don't think Velma and Bugs are unfair. I don't think they're unfair. I think Velma and Bugs are really good characters. And I think it'd be great if everybody else could get moved up, but I don't think they're untouchable. I think a lot of team comps can challenge them, but again, this comes to you can't just use like 2 not great characters. I think that's kind of how it feels. Like, end of day, I think you can slot in any character, or not any character. If you pick an S tier character on a team, you can slot in almost anybody. But then afterwards, it's like, who are you gonna slot in with these guys? But I do think Velma and Bugs are clearly the best. I think this is like the one gap that feels tried and true. I don't think Velma moves up one more. Velma is really good though. But Velma isn't that good at boxing. That's the main thing. She's good with space. She's really good with space. But yeah, end of the day, this is my 2's tier list for the, what is this, LeBron patch. Things that I can see changing in the future. I can see Steven moving up. I can see Wonder Woman, Rain Dog, and Batman moving up. I can see... I can see Giant moving down, if I want to be honest. I can see LeBron moving up. Once Steven gets like bug fixed, I think it'll be fine. But yeah, that's pretty much it for my 2's tier list. I think, again, the overall power level in this game is really good. I'm pretty sure I could see a lot of teams work at a lot of levels going into the top, and only at like the really top is when I think these types of power differences will matter, like a significant amount.